Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all on a Thursday afternoon. And hopefully it won't be as busy as yesterday. And I ended up last night having to cover a site with people calling out, and then the on-call people weren't really on call because they couldn't really go do anything. And anyway, whatever. One of those nights, it happens in the business. So tonight, let's do an actual shave review. I did the baton handle 1912 the other day, the first shave in the new den. Of course, it was Williams, had to be. So today, let's kind of switch gears. Let's go do a two-sided thingy. Now, one of my two-sided favorite thingies are the vintage ones, right? Everybody should know that. I'm a vintage type person. Single rings and everything are really good. And you go back, and then they made these. This is the old. It's an open comb, as you can see. It's nothing fancy, straightforward. It's got that beautiful design to it. When you think of a double-edged razor, this is the one that usually comes to mind. We all know that they get the pressure cracks in the barrel here, and then you'll have to glue them back together to stabilize them or something like that every once in a while. Doesn't matter. Doesn't bother to shave. They still shave good. I haven't looked lately to see how plentiful these are. Used to, you could pick olds up left and right for little or nothing, and they shave absolutely fantastic. Some people say they're a really mild shave. Some people say they're a bear in disguise. It depends on, razor to razor, blade to blade. But some of them are going to feel different because they're going to be dropped or maybe over the years, or they're going to be tweaked, or whatever happens that can change. And your technique, of course, smooths that out. There's nothing such thing as a razor that's too aggressive, as long as it's not defective. So I also thought that I hadn't used this in a while. This is my little Omega shave brush. And it's, it's got it's a little bore brush, and it's got the little sleeve on it for when you're shaving, or when you're traveling, rather. It keeps it from getting all messed up, and it's a little bore brush. And I don't know, are you supposed to turn it upside down and put it back in the handle so you got something bigger to grip? Or do you just use it, with the regular handle there? I usually actually put it upside down, put it back into the handle, and have a little bit thicker handle to use. Is that right? Y'all let me know. That's what I do. All right, we're going to let that soak. So for soap today, Sterling Soap Company. If you're not buying, some of the, I don't know. Anyway, forgot that train of thought. Forget we even started on that one. Train of thought left the station. Fuzzy's still in the gift shop. But anyway, Sterling Soap Company is one of the great artisan soaps that we have. To me, they're top of the line. Price-wise, it's the way things are these days. Nothing is really what you're going to call inexpensive anymore. Williams was, Williams is gone. There you go. VDH, I'm not sure what VDH is running today, but and for some reason VDH is always a soap I forget when I'm talking about soaps to buy when you can't get Williams anymore. But VDH is a good soap. Anyway, today Sterling. This is Sterling Spice. It is their knockoff of Old Spice, and it's really a nice soap. It really is. It's a great little scent. And Sterling soaps just lather great. They really do. They're wonderful soaps. I've still got some of the old smells like Old Spice. This one came from Fred's. Used to get it at Fred's. Used to get it at Family Dollar. Don't see it anymore. Don't think you can get it anymore. I still got several bottles of it. Woo, that water's hot. The hot water tank in a new apartment works. Let me tell you, you got to be careful. I'm gonna have to actually find out how to turn it down a little bit. It's too hot. It's hot enough that you can make instant coffee with the water out of the tap, and it's drinkable. It's not, as hot as it would be coming out of the pot. But anyway, so we got a little Cafe Bustelo coffee going today, and we're gonna get ready for our night. Some nights, I really don't do a whole lot. I go around and check things. As the supervisor at night, I go around and check the people that are on at night to see if everything's going okay and make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to by procedure and everything. And then when people start calling out, sometimes you end up working a post. So I ended up working a little casino last night. It's mostly video poker. It's truck stops. We have little truck stops casinos here. And it's mostly video poker. And Wednesday night at the video poker. Wasn't bad to do. Anyway, so we wiped the face off. See, we do have a nice little growth there to work on. Probably when I went to leave yesterday afternoon, I didn't shave. I don't need to confirm or defy that or deny that. But anyway, we got a little growth to work on there. And that's one thing that the old excels at. The old is kind of the micromatic of in my opinion, the micromatic of the two-sided thingies. It gets the job done. It's simple, reliable, built like a tank. But all the old three-piece stuff, it's not. You can get the modern three-piece stuff. Heck, you can go down to Dollar Tree, the $1.25 tree now, and get one of their 3-piece razors, and the thing saves like a champ. Really does. It's got a lot of good blade feel. We'll do another one of those shaves here before too long. But the 3-piece razors, now, like I said, it is no problem getting Sterling to lather. And it's just wonderful scent. It really is. Kudos to Sterling on their stuff. I've got a few of them. Alrighty, so there we go. We got us a good one. Now again, not the optimal camera angle. I still haven't had a chance to work on setting up that stuff. Me and the prop boy, as Naeem would say, haven't got together on it. We will. But for now, this is going to have to do. So you can see the little travel bore here. There's nothing wrong with a small bore brush. The trend has seemed to have been going towards really big brushes. We've talked about that before. And, you know, I've got some really big brushes. Matter of fact, I've got this huge, you know, thing from Maggart's. It's the mix, boar and badger. And it does fine. Too big to me, but it does fine. So these little brushes, as you can see, do really well. Now, how long did I let it soak? Not as long as a lot of people would. Is it doing a great job? Absolutely. So, you know, routines are great. I like my routines. Doesn't hurt to let the brush soak longer. But, you know, let it soak long enough to get warm and soak some water up and you're good to go. And we're going to put a little bit more water in on this. Speaking of water. And that's the neat thing about face lather. People holler, well, I do it in the bowl so I can adjust my lather. Well, guess what? You can adjust your lather right there on your old mug. All right, so this one already had a blade in it. I cannot tell you what blade it was because I didn't take the razor apart to see what was on it. It's the blade that was already in it. I do that. I leave blades in razors, and then I'll go back and use them when, you know, the next time I use them. This feels like it's almost a brand new blade. Probably wasn't used but once because I don't use these razors a lot. I'm mostly, you know, single edge. But look right there, just on the first pass. That's as smooth as can be, boys and girls. You can't feel it from over there, but I can tell you, I cannot go back over that this whole shave and be completely done with it. It's not hard to find the angle with an old. They're very efficient. I love an open comb razor. Quick story that I always like to point out, or I point out a lot of time when I use an open comb razor. I ain't lying. There was one guy in a forum one time that was talking about how he liked his open comb razors because he liked the really cool tracks they put in the lather when he was shaving. Looked like cornrows or something. He got laughed out of the place because, you know, apparently he didn't have a blade in his razor. Because you're not, you know, the blade's running right next to the skin. It's going to take all the lather off just like that. You know, people just amaze me sometimes. But anyway, we're not going to get off on that. So these are not hard to find. You should not be hard to find. I've got several of the olds. I've got an old set that is a 1918. I used it in 2018. I remember using it and all that. But you know, the things are 100 plus years old. They still hold the blades tight. Like I said, they have problems with the press fit, and I think it's called hoop compression or something. I don't know. One of you mechanical engineering types can talk about it. But anyway, they split down here at the base or up here usually. Some of them split all the way down the handle. This one I can see it's got a split right there, although I don't think I'll be able to show it in this light. But that's not a real big deal. You can stabilize them and keep using them. Some people use solder. Some people use JB Wells. Some people use epoxy. Some people use Gorilla Glue, super glue, whatever. And usually you go about your business. And what you have to be careful of is when you're taking the razor apart and putting it together. There's no need to put a razor together and crank down on the handle like you're torquing down lug nuts on an old Ford to keep the wheel from flying off. Tamp it down and snug it up so that the blade doesn't wiggle around and the head's not moving around. Now on the old, that is one thing to remember. They were made for the old 3-hole blades. So modern blades can wiggle. So when you put a blade in and you tighten it down, you eyeball it. That's what these things right here are for. They call it eyeballs, boys and girls. You eyeball it, make sure that the blade's good and centered, and you won't have any problem with it. Then you snug it down, and the blade's not going to move all over the place once it's snugged down. You just got to get it snugged down. And the shaves on these, a lot of them feel pretty mild, but when you go and you look at it, very efficient shaves. So these are some of my favorite. And these are the ones, these styles are the ones that a lot of the modern 3-piece razors are kind of based off of. They're copies of the olds and things of that nature. Now, as I mentioned, I have a single ring. And to me, a single ring is just a little more classy, old. But I love the shape of the single ring also. It's another one of those open rings, very efficient. Mine's silver plated, and when I actually take the time to shine it up, the dang thing looks good. Wish I had a double ring, but they're kind of like hen's teeth. And then when you do find one, it takes Donald Trump just about to buy it. Been my experience, I've never found one that was in my price range when I was looking for one. But anyhow, so look at there. 2 passes down, and look what we've done. We done knocked all that old stuff out. Them old gray hairs. I got them. I tell you, I went to the barber shop the other day, and the guy was cutting my hair, and all that gray hair was falling out on this cape there. And I told him, you know, man, you need to clean this cape. Them old gray hair people coming before me, you need to clean that hair off before I sit down, because I know that ain't coming from me. It was coming from me. All right. Get that all cleaned up and hit it with a drying cloth. I like that brand new white towels. I bought a whole set from Walmart the other day. It's the it's not a big towel, it's a mid-size bath towel, and then you got the hand towels here, then you got bath rags. Whole set of them. And because even using bleach, the water around here, before long, everything gets dingy. I mean, I use bleach, and I try to do things right, and I still end up with dingy white. So I have to replace my shaving towels every once in a while, because I like them to be nice and bright. I'm no longer wearing a white uniform shirt. The last job I had, my uniform shirt was white, long sleeve, heavy shirt, and even during the summer. That's what the client liked. And it looks good. It does. I mean, you got your supervisors running around in the white shirts with the black pants, long sleeve, and with the duty belts on and everything policed up, and it looked good. It really did. Now the supervisor of this company, I'm more of a polo shirt and black pants, dark blue polo with the company logo. And by law, you have to have a badge showing on the front of your work shirt to work posts and stuff. So you got the badge on everything. So it's a little bit different. But there we go. 3-pass shave with an old. Look, folks, if you get a chance to get one of these, I prefer single edge. I think single edge is the way to go. I think it's easier. I think it's more traditional to me, even though I realize that the double edge. Remember, the single edge was the original safety. That's where the name of toast comes from, the original safety, TOS. And then this is the third iteration, so the original safety 2, TOO was the second one, and then I just took TOST and put the number 3 after it to show that we're on the third one now. Long story on why that happened. But anyway, so the original safeties were the single edge stuff, the wedge blades, when they went from the straight razors in. But still, double edge won the marketing war. Give it to them, whatever. So look, if you're a double edge shaver and you don't have an old in your collection, you need to remedy that. It's just a classic shave. So we got the smell kind of like Old Spice. I can't tell a lot of difference between the different Old Spices. Now that's just be my snout. Now I'm not sophisticated enough. I think the smells like Old Spice here is good. The scent of the Spice soap from Sterling is not an exact dupe of Old Spice. I don't think that's what they were going for, but it's close enough and it's very pleasant. And I don't worry about too much matching soap scents and aftershaves, because once you wash soap off, scent's gone anyway, believe it or not. And then you got the aftershave. But I found that I can use this aftershave, and then later on, if I wanted to put some Old Spice cologne on, which I rarely do, but you can, that it's not like it's going to interfere with each other and it's going to turn into this horrible thing. It's not. So there you go. So we're going to get our brush cleaner. This is a little, I don't remember the number on it. I bought one for myself and one for my brother-in-law. We were going to go on a cruise, I think. I got him before we went on a cruise one time. And I don't know if he still uses his or not. I've kept mine around. It stays in my travel case. You do need to let it dry. These travel brushes, before you put them back in their tubes, they do need to dry. That is an advantage, I will admit, of a synthetic brush. I'm not a huge fan of synthetic brush, but one advantage is they dry quicker. Be sure if you're using a natural hair, badger, boar, horse, whatever, that they're dry before you put them in the tube and leave them for a long time in your luggage or in a hot car or whatever you're going to do. That's Fuzzy's little tip from the day from Cousin Fuzzy. All right, well, there we go. Well, that's what we're doing today. So we're going to get finished getting ready for work. Because quick as I go on call, things can start to slide sideways. And we don't need that. Miss Luna still got to have her walk. Because, you know, Miss Luna got to have her walk regardless of anything else. She's in there piled up on the bed right now looking at me like I'm stupid, talking to myself. She doesn't know I'm talking to y'all, but that's okay. It is okay. All right, y'all have a good afternoon. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Sterling Soaps, they get a thumbs up from Fuzzy, have for a while. They've got a lot of different flavors. I wish they would bring back the one that had, and I'm not going to be able to think of the name of it right this second, but the one that had the patchouli in it. And I wish they would bring that one back. I really like that soap. I've got a sample of it. But anyway, their scents are wonderful. I've got a couple of different ones here. Their electric sheep is fantastic if you haven't tried that. The spice is really good. In a Sharp Dressed Man, I do have some Sharp Dressed Man cologne here, or aftershave here. The Sharp Dressed Man is a great scent. They're just really great scents. So if you haven't tried Sterling Soaps, give them a lick. Tell them Fuzzy sent you. It'll get you absolutely nothing. And probably they won't say, who's Fuzzy? Tell them I sent them. I didn't tell nobody nothing about that. But still, tell them Fuzzy sent you. Yeah, it can't hurt. All right, there we go. Single edge, double edge people. You know, first off, the double edge people, get a single edge safety razor. I'm not talking about straight razors. That's a whole different subject. But, you know, if you're a double edge guy and you're buying all these new razors and spending all this money on new razors, get an old and see where it comes from, my friend. Connect with the past. All right, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shaves to you.